should you consider a used vehicle as your first ever vehicle?
Again, need,
Hmm.
right? So it depends on what you're planning on doing. Are you an experienced driver? Have you already हाथ साफ हो चुके हैं, right? अगर हाथ साफ हो चुके हैं, so half the reason to go for a used car goes away, because most people buy a used car as their first car. Is when they are unsure of how they're going to drive. So all the dents, scrapes, dings, and all of that will be on an ultra cheap car. So it comes back to that.
Right.
The cost of repair aspect, right? So for that. But otherwise, if you're saying that this is going to be a car that I'm going to hold on to for 4, 5 years, 7 years, whatever, I'd much rather go with a new car.
Or you're playing with your usual mindset difference between people who prefer to buy used cars as a routine and people who prefer new cars instead, which is a personal choice. We've discussed this in season 1, some episode. I'll try and put a link to that.
And often people will buy a used car saying that in the same budget, I'll get a bigger car.
Correct.
Right?
But you're saying for the first time driver, this may not be such a huge thing.
I don't really see that as the priority to have, right?
So for a first time buyer who's on a budget, they might get the same car at a much lower cost if they're just willing to buy used.
Correct.
And that's not really a challenge, especially if the warranty is valid, etc., etc.
So in this also, the beauty today is most brands have their own used car setups. Right? And they're offering you like warranties and, inspections and all of that. There are third-party agencies, companies as well that do that. But brands themselves are offering it. So you get a lot of peace of mind with that factor as well. But again, depends on what your mindset is, which is why I started off by saying, what are your needs, right? If you're looking to upsize in your budget, then you need to go used. Let's say your budget is only 5 lakhs and you want an SUV, which is family friendly, which means you'll have to go used. Right? By all means, do so. Find the right place to buy from. Right? Because everybody can offer you a warranty, but who's going to honor it?
Correct.
Right? That is important.
What was your first ever vehicle? What did you buy?
First car?
Yeah.
I've only bought one car.
Okay.
The Ignis.
How long ago was that?
That's been over 5 years now.
But you were testing vehicles by that point already, so you knew the playing field before you bought the Ignis. There was not a lot of mystery in there.
But it was still a challenge because the powers that be in the house weren't for the Ignis. Doesn't look cool.
What were they for?
Anything but that.
Really?
So one of the cars that Vanita did like was the WRV. And I had been panning the WRV left, right, center. And she was like, WRV. I was like, if you buy that, I have to quit this profession altogether. So, yeah.
V for Vanita.
Yeah. So, yeah. So the WRV was the Jazz. And I loved the Jazz. The Jazz was not available. I loved the Jazz. The WRV was basically an SUV Jazz. And in that, somehow it lost the essence of the Jazz because the suspension became soft.
They jazzed it up too much, I think.
Soft. It became this roly-poly thing which was meant to pander to this short drive formula. And that was her takeaway. And I've seen it there. I went over the speed breaker and I didn't feel anything.
Correct.
I was like, man, it works. And how? And we had done Jazz and WRV back to back. So I knew exactly what it does, when it does what. And I was like, man, this is a problem. So we did the whole circuit and then we came back to the Ignis at some point. Actually, we didn't go for the Ignis. We went for the Baleno. We were going to get the Baleno. But she found the seating too low. So then
Ignis re-entered the picture and won the day.
Yeah, that's how it
Ask me about my first car.
Yeah, which was your first car?
I haven't bought one yet. I'll let you know when I do.
People keep asking, which car does Shumi drive? And I'm like, he doesn't drive any, he uses many.
I can drive, but I choose not to as often as possible because I'd just rather be on a motorcycle.
He's using them regularly, but he's just not driving them.
Yeah. What? A call to action. Okay. Guys, you guys need to do something. No, like anything. Oh, come to the main MotorInc channel. We've got more of this stuff going on there.